Hi, it's Crazy Monkey here again. I'm going to do a few articles real quick because my camera battery's almost dead. This is from Infowars.com, maternal obesity linked to childhood cancer. This is basically just an article about how a mother being obese will dramatically increase the chance of childhood cancer for the baby. You can read the article yourself. Let me just go through what it says because one of the statistics was like alarming. Here it is. BMI above 40 had a 51% higher risk of developing leukemia before age 5. Let me just say that. All right, a study by the state of Pennsylvania. Let me read this. Stacy and colleagues poured through nearly 2 million birth records and about 3,000 cancer registry records filed in the state of Pennsylvania between 2003 and 2016 and found that children born to severely obese mothers, BMI above 40, had a 57% higher risk of developing leukemia before age 5. So, these fat, overweight women, their babies before age 5 have a 57% higher risk of developing leukemia if the mothers have a BMI above 40. It's really sad because these women get obese and huge. Now the children are getting cancer. It's just sad. It's really sad. And then a lot of these women that are fat and obese, they basically go on welfare and food stamps, and then their children are getting cancer. So I just want to show you that article real quick. Here's another one. This is what happens when you put your children in daycare. This is from Yahoo. This is Yahoo Entertainment. A 2-year-old boy is allegedly beaten. 2-year-old boy is allegedly beaten to death at unlicensed daycare. So basically, the parents, they dropped off this 2-year-old, and now the 2-year-old got beaten to death at the daycare center. You can read the article yourself. Allegedly, he got beaten to death at the daycare center. It's just this is what happens when you put your child in daycare. When you put your baby, when you put your 2-year-old toddler in the daycare, these stories are all too common. That's why you want to be a stay-at-home mother. You want to be a stay-at-home mother so this does not happen to you, because this happens all the time. These stories happen all the time. Another thing we're going to talk about right now is this is another article. Yahoo.com. Father chases down thief that stole vehicle. Father chases down thief who stole car with his children inside and beats him to death with help of bystanders. So this is another article. But I was reading the article. I don't think the father did anything wrong because it looks like the thief was extremely violent, and I think the father acted in self-defense. I mean, you can read the article yourself, but it looks to me like the father acted in self-defense. So hopefully a jury will find him not guilty because I think he acted in self-defense. He was basically chasing down the guy, and I think the father acted in self-defense. You can read the article yourself, and just want to say that real quick. So let me just wipe these articles down. I think we saw that one. All right, and here's another story. This is from Infowars. This is from Infowars.com. Texas court orders father. Hold on. My battery is literally almost dead. Father to raise son as a transsexual. Now, obviously, I'm gay. I've said I have a husband, and I've been with she-males in the past. In my 20s and 30s, I've been with she-males. But this is absolutely ridiculous because the child's 8 years old. A Texas father has been legally prohibited from raising his son as a boy because his ex-wife allegedly decided their son is transgender girl and is preparing him for chemical castration at age 8 and a future sex change surgery, which the father may be forced to help pay for. If you want to have a sex change at age 21, that's fine, but this is absolutely ridiculous. I can see people 18, 21 having sex change going into the transformation, but it should never be done to children that are 8 years old because that is likely to end in disaster because children that are 8 years old, they really have no clue. They really have no clue about life. They really have no clue about what they are. So, it's likely this child will be damaged at that young of an age because the child has really no clue. It's better just to, have the child raised as a boy, and then if the child at 18, 19 years old decides to become a woman, then that's the way it is, but not at 8 years old. So you can read the article. It really shows you how crazy and insane our society's become. It just really shows you how insane and wacky the liberals have become. So that's the final article for the four I just showed you. But this one is actually, just a really shocking article. It's just really shocking that, they're going to transform this boy into a girl at 8 years old. It's just really, really shocking. And then the father might have to pay for the sex change in the future, which is just absolutely shocking. But again, I'm just saying, if an adult 18, if an adult 18, 21 wants to have sex change, that's perfectly okay, because they're an adult. But this shouldn't be happening with children at all, especially not 8. It definitely should not be happening. The child should be raised as a boy, and then if he starts to transform into like a woman, you know, at 16, 17, 18, then obviously at 18, 21, maybe he could have a sex change at that age, but definitely this should not be happening at age 8, because it's likely to end in disaster, because people at that age, children at that age, they have no clue what they want. So if the mothers brainwash them, it's likely to end in disaster, and then the child will go back and forth and be so damaged by the time they go back and forth. If they have one sex change and then they have to go back to have another sex change, then they're going to be very damaged. And then it's like what happens is they don't look like a man or a woman, and then they can't get relationship later in life because their look. If you ever look at a person that's like went from man to woman and then woman back to man, so 2 sex changes back and forth, it's like everything changes. They don't look right. The bone structure, everything changes so radically, it's like they don't look right. So then they're going to have trouble finding a man or a woman to be a mate. They're going to have trouble finding a man or a woman to be mate. And it's almost like the ruling elite want it that way, because they want to like